Hey everyone, this amazing ESO Network show is brought to you by our fine sponsor, Amazon.com. Please remember to shop Amazon for all your geeky needs, no matter what time of the year it is. All you need to do is go to esopodcast.com/ESO Amazon, or click on the Amazon banner on the ESO Network webpage to go to our e-store. It's the best way to shop and the best way to support this program, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Okay, that's enough of me babbling for now. Now on with your regular scheduled show.
Crawl out through the fallout, baby, when they drop that bomb. Crawl out through the fallout with the greatest of aplomb. When your white count's getting higher, hurry, don't delay. I'll hold you close and kiss those radiation burns away. Crawl out through the fallout.
Welcome to the post-election Adam and JP show.
It is time.
Welcome to Trump's America.
Think about your hero when you're at ground zero.
That's right.
And crawl out through the fallout back to me.
Oh, we're just playing.
Yeah.
We don't really think there'll be nuclear fallout in the next 4 years.
But if there is,
We have got a ton of training.
we do hundreds of hours, really.
This is a conversation I actually had with my wife the other night.
What's
I said,
that?
you know, if there is a nuclear war, I think we do have enough training from playing Fallout 4
Yeah.
that we know how to
I can
survive.
keep my rads to a nice level.
I'm investing in Redix
Yeah,
right now.
Right now. At least rat away something.
Yeah, so,
Once again, it's not politics anymore. This is entertainment. Hence, we're covering it.
that's right.
Yeah.
It is entertainment.
Don't forget that.
I mean, when you've just elected a reality show star
Yeah.
who once got stunned at WrestleMania,
Exactly. All things you said weren't false.
who is in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, he is, yeah.
Yeah, this is entertainment.
Been pretty much the host of a reality show for many years.
Yep.
Or he was at one time.
Mm-hmm.
This is entertainment. That's what he does. He entertains.
He made his premiere at WrestleMania 4.
Yeah.
Or was it 3? No, 4. 4 was the first one at Trump Plaza, right?
Right, yeah. That was 4.
Yeah.
Because 3 was Michigan. Yeah.
Right.
The Pontiac Silverdome.
4 was when the mega powers exploded.
Right.
Or was that 5?
No, it was 5, wasn't it?
No, 4 is when the mega powers exploded. 5 is when they no, 4 is when they had the tournament.
Right.
And 5 was when
That
they exploded.
And 6 was Ultimate Warrior.
Was that at the Trump Plaza too?
Maybe so. Wow.
So if you are not in the Trump camp,
Yeah?
I told you so.
You did. You called it. And I was very shocked.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to happen. I'm not sure if the world did, honestly.
Should I read the text that you and I had election night?
If you want to, sure. There's just a bunch of shock around the world.
I think let me see if I can pull up Adam
I
here.
did not expect that at all.
Well, I have to be careful the ones that I read.
You can't read all, right?
Adam, I can't believe this. Me, I know. Lots of people.
You can't read any of this. You can't.
I still think there's a chance Hillary will bounce back. You, Adam, this is insane. It even came to this. Yep, I wrote in a name.
Yeah.
Who? And I told you who I voted for. And then I said I actually used the ballot for the rest of the and you said, gotcha. And then a few minutes later, when Florida came in, me to you, holy shit, Florida is big.
Yeah.
Your response the following morning, damn, man. Just damn it. I'm in no way political, but this shit is a joke.
That's true. I'll stand by that.
And my response was, I know. It's seriously messed up that a bigoted demigod can be elected president.
Yeah. That's very true.
Stand by that.
I think it says something that someone like myself who's been so unpolitical his whole life comes out of the woodwork, out of the bushes, and just is confused by it all. Like, can this really be happening?
He ran in and cashed in his briefcase.
Yeah. And I've heard some people say it's not about the person itself, it's about his policies. And my question is, what policy?
It's not about his policies. I'll tell you exactly. If you really want to know, if you want to take a couple of minutes here, I'll give you my theory of what happened election night.
By the way, I feel so punk rock being against the president. It's kind of cool,
Have
right?
you always been for the president?
I'm just kind of just been there, but now I'm like, yeah, fight the man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go protest.
Yeah, let's start a band.
First of all, these protesters, you need to just pack up and go home.
Yeah, that's doing nothing.
The election was over. You've walked into the kitchen and you see the milk on the floor, and now you're crying.
It's
It's too
true.
late. Just clean it up, move on. Absolutely, you have the right to protest. That is one of the great things about living in the United States. We can go out, gather peacefully, and protest just about anything we want. That's what we can do here.
Yeah.
That's part of what makes this country great. But, what is your end game with the protest? That somebody's going to say, okay, just a joke. It's not really.
Because I see petitions on change.org to reverse the results of the Electoral College and actually go for the popular vote.
You cannot do that.
Right. Yeah,
If
it's
you do
impossible.
that, regardless, look, I've studied this stuff a long time. Like I've been a news junkie and political junkie for a long time. And I used to think that when I was in my 20s, I thought it should always be the popular vote because that's what the people want. If you do that, then 3 states will decide every presidential election.
That is true, yeah.
And you can't do that. And like the outcome or not, when you look at the electoral map, it's a little bit of blue on one side, a little bit of blue on the other side, specks of blue throughout the country in this sea of red. So when you look at it like that, and you look at it state by state, the right thing happened. Donald Trump won that election, regardless of the popular vote, because those votes are coming in from states that Hillary Clinton won. So she won those states. And so for her to be slightly over in the popular vote and say that's the way it should be, no. You have to have the Electoral College. If we got rid of the Electoral College, then you would see all these candidates completely ignore every state except New York, Florida, Pennsylvania, California, and Texas.
Yeah.
And then nobody would. Look what happened to Hillary. If Hillary had just spent a little more time in Wisconsin, she probably would have won that state.
That's true, and that's what put him over the edge, right?
Yeah.
He won that and won the whole thing.
Yeah. But I think Pennsylvania is actually the one that put him over. But
was the
Pennsylvania's the same thing.
Yeah.
Had she focused harder on Pennsylvania, she would have won. She would have picked up those 20 electoral points.
Yeah.
And won. Points, like it's a game.
Do you think Hillary's association, if you want to call it that, with her husband, Bill Clinton, did that help or hurt her? Would she have no chance even being this far if it weren't for her husband? Or do you think the fact she has that kind of that rigid history tied to her, did that hurt her in a way?
I think the Clinton dynasty inside the Democratic Party is why she got to where she was.
so, yeah.
They've just been so powerful in that party for so long. That's how she got there. You have a contingency of people that say it probably should have been Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
And then I think that worked against Hillary when those emails got leaked and you saw how hard her campaign and even the DNC worked against Bernie Sanders. That soured a lot of people on Hillary Clinton, people that probably would have voted for her, people that probably would have got out and vote. And that's another point. I think that if you want to pull anything, if you want to learn anything, if you want to get out of the streets and quit crying and actually learn something from this election, and that is every vote really does count. Because for so long, I really believe apathy is the biggest enemy of our country in 2016. Because people have the attitude, and you up to this year kind of felt this way.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like, my vote doesn't matter. Look at the razor thin margins that Trump beat Clinton in some of those states. They were razor thin. You're talking about when you get down to the counties, you're talking about a difference of 500 votes. And he won by 500 votes and won that county. So you have to get out and vote. And if you feel really passionate about a certain candidate, you need to volunteer for their campaign.
Yeah,
You
might as
need
well.
to, rather than putting your efforts into burning effigies of Donald Trump after the election, you need to be out there having conversations of why you think people should vote for Hillary during the campaign. That can make the difference. That is what Barack Obama was able to do. He was able to create an army of volunteers that helped get him elected not once, but twice. And everybody talked about the ground game that Hillary had, and she had a great one, but there was no passion for her. And what Donald Trump had that Hillary Clinton didn't was he had the force of a movement behind him. He, regardless of what he did, regardless of what he has said, there were people, and they're between New York and California. They are blue collar, probably married. Both people work. They got some kids. They pay their taxes. They work really hard. They work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And they feel like that over the last few years, they've been forgotten in the national conversation.
Yeah.
And they don't protest. They don't post stuff on social media. They go and vote. And that's how Donald Trump won. He was able to tap into that. Whether they forgave all the stuff that he did because to them, he was a beacon of recognition, which is very interesting considering at his heart, he's a billionaire Democrat from New York. That people
sure.
in the Midwest was able to, like blue-collar workers, were able to connect with him. And he made that connection. And he gave them a message of, if you vote for me, your life can get better. You won't be forgotten. And he got elected president because of that. He did it in the Midwest. He did it up in Wisconsin and Michigan, and even was competitive in Minnesota, states that he shouldn't have been competitive in Pennsylvania. Hillary Clinton saying early in her campaign, we're going to put a lot of coal workers out of work. You really want to say that?
Right.
And that hurt her.
Yeah.
And the millennials didn't turn out to vote. The millennial vote was way down this go around compared to the last election. And these are the people out protesting. As we record this, more protests are going on tonight. This is Thursday night that we're recording this. And more protests are going on tonight. So rather than being involved and caring and trying to get their candidate that they wanted in office, and I'm not saying none of them voted. I'm not saying that at all. But I just get the feeling that the passion came after the election. And the lesson they need to learn is that passion needs to happen during the campaign. Because, like I said, you look at these razor-thin margins. There is enough, and also what this election proved, there's enough Democrats, well, in most states. California is an exception. New York is an exception. But when you look at the middle of the country, there's enough Democratic and Republican voters in every state to get their candidate won during a national presidential election. It happened in Florida. I mean, President Obama won Florida in the last election. He won North Carolina in the last election and Ohio. And when Trump picked up Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina, that's when I knew he was going to, I knew for a certainty he was going to be elected president.
Here we are. It happened.
Now, with all that said, I didn't vote for either one of them. I actually did write in a name, which is a story in itself because I showed up at the polls and I'm like, I would like to write in a candidate. And the poll worker was like, what?
What does that mean?
Yeah. And he's like, Bob, this guy says he wants to write in a candidate. And he's like, oh, yeah, there's just an option on the screen. Uh-huh. So I went up and rather than clicking all the, I went back and forth. I clicked right in and I started to type in a name and then I backspaced and backed out and looked at the ballot one more time and then hit the write in and did a write in. But then everybody knew I was doing a write in because my wife said this too, because when you hit the letters, it was like beep, 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 beep. Everybody here knows I'm writing in a name. But what's your thoughts, man?
Oh, it's once again, man, right down the middle. I keep saying that for a reason, but the fact that it made me get so involved in this election, I think that's got to say something. You can say it's about policies, but I see myself as a good judge of character, and I believe him to be a very bad character, if you ask me. In the full story of life, he may be a good villain. Let's say that.
Yeah. It is
and I'm not one of those people to, I wasn't a Bush hater. I wasn't an Obama hater. I'm not hating anyone, but for the first time I'm seeing this, ooh, just a big gross ooh.
It says a lot when Bill Maher goes on television and says, look, I said a lot of bad things about George Bush, but really, he wasn't that bad of a guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've never once disliked a person for that reason, but I just see him before he's even in office. Just bad moral choices. Can we say that? And the weird thing is, he got the evangelical vote. That doesn't make any sense to me.
And it's for that very reason. Like when I was naming,
I think Pence saved him on that mostly. But
Pence was a big help. Mm-hmm. You know what? And Tim Kaine just never seemed.
If you showed me his face right now, I would know who he is.
Like when she named Tim Kaine as her running mate, I'm like, Mike Pence sounds more like a vice presidential name.
Yeah.
that was another thing. I think when I was naming like the characteristics of and when I was naming those people, those are not the extremist Trump voters. I think those hardworking blue collar workers aren't the guys punching people at Trump rallies. I think they just found a connection with him. And I think that was another thing too. I think they go to church. You know, they're church going, they're blue collar, they make less than $50,000 a year, they have kids, they've seen their health care premiums go up, and they needed a movement that they could attach to, and that movement happened to be Donald Trump. Now, with all of this said, and it's very clear, if you go back and listen, I have not been a Trump fan for 18 months.
We thought it was a joke for so long.
Absolutely. We joked about it. We're like, well, that's a fun lark for the summer.
Yeah.
And, I said, there's no way Donald Trump will ever make it. There's no way he'll be elected. And then finally, I saw the writing on the wall last week. And when I started to look at, like, there's people that I know that don't post on Facebook. And granted, I mean, we live in a red state. We live in Tennessee. I knew Trump was going to win Tennessee, regardless if we won the national election. But those people that I described, we don't have to go very far to find.
No, not at all.
And I knew that there's a lot of rural communities very similar to what's around us in the Midwest. And I knew if he was making those connections here, he was making them there. And I knew Hillary didn't have the support that Barack Obama had from, I didn't think it was going to be as low in the millennials and the African Americans, but it was. And with all that said, though, I mean, I'm not a Trump fan. He's my president now.
Yeah. Can't stop that. You can't riot and picket about that. It won't change it.
No. Rather than going out and just the hypocrisy of love Trump's hate, and then you made a T-shirt that says F Trump.
Right, yeah.
And you're burning his head in effigy. Do they not see the hypocrisy in that? But rather than going out and doing that, be celebrating the fact that this is another round of the American free election system, and come January, there will be a transfer of power from one party to another, and no blood will be shed.
Yeah.
Go to Cuba. Go 60 miles south of Miami. See how happy they would be with an election, a free election, even if their person didn't win.
Yeah, Google Gaddafi.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, go to the Middle East. Go to North Korea. You think if North Koreans got a free election, that they would care really if who they supported won or not?
Just the fact they have the freedom to vote. That's all that would matter.
And that's
we take it for granted. We do
what we take for granted.
Yeah.
We really do. There are so many of us that take the fact that we just went through one of the greatest, not annual, but every 4 years, one of the greatest democratic events on earth, and that is the U.S. presidential election. For 200 years, we voted, and if your guy doesn't win, then you just accept it. And you rather than going on Facebook and Twitter, get involved on a different, do your civic duty, like read up on people, study, and then make decisions. And rather than yelling and being behind a keyboard, have like conversations with people.
Yeah,
So
on a positive note, the speech, be it the victory speech by Trump or the concession speech by Hillary, were so tasteful. I didn't expect that from both of them.
No, I was surprised.
I was impressed with that. Like the actual victory speech by Trump made me almost like him a little bit more. That's it.
He seemed a bit humbled
Yeah.
when he walked out to do his speech.
Yeah.
He did seem a bit humbled.
That's all I can say. I'll give him that positive note.
I
thought once he became elected, the smugness would be just off the charts.
Yeah.
But it was the exact opposite of what I expected.
He'd be shooting guns up in the air. We're going to have a rootin' tootin' good time.
Yeah. Can you imagine we're going to have a State of the Union with Trump soon?
Yeah, it's going to happen. Maybe it won't be in January, but a year.
Yeah.
We're about a year away from his first State of the Union.
We'll give him a shot. We'll see what happens.
Do you think any Democrat will shout liar at Donald Trump during his first State of the Union?
It's possible.
Like happened during President Obama's first one?
And hopefully Rubio tries to follow up with a good speech afterwards and choke on his water.
Oh, that'd be great.
We thought he was the guy for a bit, remember?
I thought, when this was all started, that it was Marco Rubio's to lose during the primaries.
The tiny hands joke came out, and that was it.
I know.
That was the end of that for him. The good thing about this whole thing, no matter how you look at it, this blows the door wide open, because until right now you had to have lifelong career old men politicians that only had a chance to even think about running for president. But now you have Donald Trump. Love him or hate him, the good thing about that is any time from now on you say someone's running for president, they have a shot. I mean,
That's true.
Honestly, really.
That is another a positive that, like,
I know he's a billionaire, but all that aside, he has no any kind of inkling of what to do with this. But he's going to do it.
I will agree with you that one of the positives of this election has been that all the money that the Democratic, the DMC and Hillary Clinton had to spend, and they spent it to try to win this thing. It didn't do them any good.
Yeah.
Donald Trump had what, like $1.25 worth of TV ads? Now, he was smart because early on, he would do an interview with anybody. Like, we almost had him on this show.
It's true.
Like, he was doing interviews with anybody.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Just let it go.
But he took advantage of that. He took advantage of the media. And then when the media turned on him, he turned on the media.
Yeah.
And it worked for him.
It did.
He played it very smart. Now, he made huge fumbles along the way.
Huge.
He was huge. But
I say people were ready for a non-politician.
that's exactly what
He
happened.
was against Jeb Bush, who comes from pretty much, depends how you see it, American political royalty.
Yes.
And he annihilated him early on.
Yeah.
Early on.
Chris Christie.
He would just stump him right there. Like Jeb had nothing to say.
After Hurricane Sandy, Chris Christie was a shoo-in to be the Republican nominee. There was a lot of people. Mike Huckabee's never going to.
He's too nice. He's a
He
nice
is too
guy.
nice.
I'd like to hang out with him, maybe. Not for more than a few minutes, though.
But it'll be interesting to see. I totally believe that. Now, my advice to Donald Trump as a podcaster.
Which, honestly, you have more political, or the same amount of political expertise and experience as the president-elect
That's
Trump.
true.
Yeah, you honestly are on the same, as of right now, you're on the same level.
Peer to peer. Here's my advice to Donald Trump. Let go of this whole build a wall thing. Now, I know you promised that
That's
to
a
your
joke.
people.
We know that's a joke. Come on, it's a joke.
Let go of that.
That's SNL fodder.
Let go, because this is, I'm giving Donald Trump his path to reelection right now. If you put the wall on the back burner, put immigration on the back burner, you can find a way, rather than completely destroying the Obamacare, but find a way to make it better to where it is more fair and insurance is available. Like, I think the companies, to be able to go in every state is a great. That's why we have cheap car insurance, because Geico can offer you the same insurance no matter what state you live in. And, break down that barrier for healthcare.
Even as of right now, the insurance I'm with, that provider next year leaves our state of Tennessee.
Yeah.
The Blue Cross Blue Shield is leaving.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're leaving the exchange.
Oh, okay. Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
I know in our state at least.
But yeah, work on the healthcare. Find a way to lower the premiums. Make it better rather than, completely kicking Obamacare to the curb, because you got to replace it with something. You can't leave, millions of Americans that have had health insurance the last 3 years without anything. You can't do that. That's not fair. Find a way to make that work. Find a way to bring industry back. These people that voted for you in the Midwest and up through the Rust Belt, if you bring industry back to the United States and people can get really good paying factory jobs again, and you turn the economy around and you see huge job growth, you're going to win re-election. It's going to happen. He's going to lower taxes. That's a given. I personally don't think that the rate should be so low for the wealthiest of Americans, but he is going to lower taxes. So people are going to see some relief, especially the middle class, especially the upper middle class. They're going to see some tax relief, which is going to be good. And you do that. You focus on the economy and jobs and infrastructure, because, you go to some parts of this country, things really are falling apart.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you do those three things over the next 4 years, and you're able to do what Ronald Reagan was able to do. And you're able to go to the American people and say, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? You're going to get a resounding yes from more than 50%, and you're going to get reelected. And that's how he gets 2 terms.
Yeah.
But if he does this thing where, we're going to build a wall and we're going to, kick all the illegal immigrants out, and
just not my wife.
yeah, exactly. It's going to be a problem for him. What he's going to do is he's going to fire. It will happen in 2 phases. He will fire up the Obama coalition that didn't show up for Hillary Clinton. They're going to show up in the midterm elections. The Republicans will lose control of the House and the Senate. And then come 4 years, somebody like Cory Booker, who is a senator now, will run against him and win. or you'll have a more moderate Republican run against him in the primaries.
Right.
And so, I don't know.
So do people flip-flop in their beliefs and ideas, you think? I mean, as long as my lifetime has been around, I think of the original George Bush to the Clintons, so you're going Republicans to Democrats, Republicans, Democrats, Republicans. It goes back and forth, back and forth. Are the American people, do they just change their mind every other election? It seems that it would kind of almost stay the same until that generation dies off, but it's every 4 years. But it seems like it goes back and forth every single time. It never really stays with one party. Not that it should. Either way, I'm glad it goes back and forth, but it just seems a very obvious trend.
I think a lot of people vote the situation that they're in at the time.
I remember the hatred George W. Bush had, but he won once and, of course, twice.
Right.
And the same for Obama. People swore Obama was the end of the country, and he was in twice. And now, of course, it goes back and forth, Republican, Democrat, Republican.
Right. Well,
are people voting that differently every time? Like they change it up? I mean, they should change it by person, not by party, I believe.
I think some do change it. Like it's in the case of Donald Trump, I think there were probably a lot of blue state Democrats that voted for Donald Trump because they were exactly what I was talking about. You know, they've seen factories and industry leave their state.
Yeah.
And they're probably part of a union. And there were union bosses coming out in favor of Donald Trump. And typically unions lean to the Democratic side.
Do you think there were people in 2012 that voted for Obama that are now voting for Trump? I guess it had to happen. I mean, the majority says so.
I think you had some that probably in the 30-plus crowd, you had some. But from 30 below, they just didn't show up this time. I
do want to see the actual, did they release the actual numbers, down to the single digits, how many actually voted and the actual number breakdown? Did they ever show that?
Mm-hmm. You can find all of that. You can go counting.
I'd like to see that comparison compared to 2012 or even 2008.
You can go to
the full number.
Yeah, and when you do that, and you see some of them, because they did some of that election night, county by county, and you could see that there was a certain segment of the population that President Obama got 63% of the vote for, that Hillary Clinton was only able to pull in 55, 56%, and then the Republicans got more of that share. Or those that voted for Obama just didn't show up. And that's what happened. And that, to me, that's what happened more than anything. There were people that voted for President Obama in 2008 and 2012 that just did not show up this time around and vote for Hillary Clinton because they weren't excited about Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, but see, that's why I think Bernie would have had a better shot. I'm not saying I would have done it.
Definitely with the millennials.
But
Bernie would have gotten
problem
more.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. You see two politician-type people. And Bernie's not, I mean, he is a career politician, but if you listen to him speak for 10 minutes, he's the furthest thing from it, in my opinion.
I think he would have been more competitive, but I think in the end, seeing where Trump was able to flip stuff, I still think Bernie.
Can you call Bernie crooked? Is there? What can you do to make him in a negative
You call him
light?
a socialist.
But to some people, it's not so bad.
That's true.
People, yeah.
That's true. I mean, yeah, you always have socialism isn't that bad. Yeah, until you're the one paying for everything.
Right. Yeah.
And everybody else gets it free. That's the problem with socialism. He would have been more competitive in the younger vote, but I think in the end it would have been very close.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I mean, because like you said, Hillary will end up winning the popular vote, but I think when you see the breakdown of the states, I think Trump would have had. I think it would have been very close. I mean, it wouldn't have affected Florida at all. I think when it came to Democratic votes, for those that were going to show up, they pretty much maxed out in Florida. Might have affected Pennsylvania. It wouldn't have affected North Carolina.
Now, the
I don't really think it would have affected Ohio.
Electoral college votes or the points count based on population?
Yes.
So do those ever fluctuate? They would have to, right?
Yeah. Well, when we have the census coming up in 2020.
I mean, how precise are those, really?
The census?
Yeah.
Well, they spent a long time doing them.
Yeah.
So they're pretty precise. I mean, they have census takers that go around and try to make sure that the numbers are accurate. Yeah. I mean, as states get bigger or states get smaller, that's why, you have like 6 votes in Wyoming and, 5 votes in Montana because it's very sparsely populated. Yeah. And then, you got 20 votes in Pennsylvania and I forget how many in Florida. There's a lot.
Yeah, it was, for
like 16, something like
15
that.
15 or 16, I think.
Yeah. So,
But hasn't social media been fun the past 3 or 4 days? Yeah, people I didn't expect to be on either side came out of the woodwork.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's a phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
But on happier news, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Doctor Strange briefly?
Let's cleanse that palate.
Yes. What's your thoughts on Doctor Strange?
Fantastic. Yeah, I had no idea. I was telling my fiance I went to go see the movie with her. I told her when the credits open, start the movie up, this will be fun for both of us because for once seeing a Marvel movie, I don't really have any idea what this character's about. I'm aware of his image, what he looks like, his name, what he can kind of do. But besides that, I have no idea of the origin, what his story, what his character's about, and why he does what he does. And it was good to see that. I'm not sure. I really have no idea how close that was to the comic origin, but I accepted that as his origin, and it felt good to me.
His character was a little different than in the comics, but I mean,
Is he that much of a jerk in the comics?
Yeah.
Because I
See,
mean,
that's the
semi-spoilers here
difference.
for Doctor Strange. Semi-spoilers we'll
Yeah.
talk about. But the first 30 or 45, maybe even first hour of the movie, he could easily be a villain in a different movie. You don't really feel for him yet. He's a jerk to the people he loves. He does nothing good for others. Of course, that it will change at the end. But the first hour of the movie, he's kind of a deplorable person.
I thought it was he was a basket of deplorables.
yeah, exactly.
He was a basket of deplorables.
Using keywords here. He's a bad hombre, you see.
I think it was very much like Iron Man in the sense of.
But Tony Stark had that cool, even
he was more charming.
Don't put it on MySpace, that whole thing. It was funny.
Yeah, he was funny.
Whereas Doctor Strange, I don't think you laugh so much. He was kind of like a cringe, like, ooh, this guy's an ass.
Yeah,
yeah.
But
it
he
worked
gets
for him. Yeah.
He gets his.
Yeah.
Man, the effects in this movie. Just blew me away.
I want to go back and see it again in 3D, and that rarely, maybe never happens for me to actually want to go back and see it in 3D.
Yeah,
and this movie deserves that.
But the first time you see Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One create the shield,
yeah,
and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is right out of the comic books.
Really,
as a matter of fact, when he's fighting Dormammu at the end, and you kind of see No. It was earlier when all the hands were coming up.
Oh, yeah.
There's the inspiration for that scene right there.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is.
The one Doctor Strange comic I have on the wall, they took obviously influence from the into the movie.
That's awesome.
And it's Marvel, man. Can Marvel do any wrong?
It's going to happen eventually, but not for a while. Not for a while.
When?
I think after Infinity War. The question is, what next? I mean, they either have to end that, which they won't because billions more can be made, or continue on without that main cast, and it's a totally different storyline. What do you do after the Infinity War? What do you do? That's the question. That's when the crossroads will happen. They continue with a new crew and new people, new style, or do they go the way of DC? Shitty.
I think they will continue.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have.
I hope they do.
I think
that's the crossroads for sure.
You have James Rhodey Rhodes as the
but even
as Iron Man.
Exactly. Continue.
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? These are
the Winter Soldier will be Captain America.
Yeah. See, this is.
But
the problem.
it's worked in the comics for years.
I know, but yeah, I think we'll see.
It'll be new and exciting villains.
Yeah, all new villains.
All new, all different.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Doctor Strange.
Maybe
I
by
thought it was
then,
a lot of fun.
I think once that happens, they'll start grasping for more. I mean, honestly, by then, especially with the lack of Hugh Jackman, I really think the Marvel Studios will take a leap and a grasp for some X-Men properties, for some Fantastic Four properties, and just put it all under the umbrella. Because then, that to me would have an ongoing success.
I think you're right.
Because they rely so much on the Avengers now, which is good, but once that main storyline ends, you brought, like I said, some X-Men, some Fantastic Four in, that would continue forever.
Right.
At least for decades to come.
I think you're right. Because I hear, after Logan, we're looking at an X-Men reboot.
Yeah.
And I would imagine
if Spider-Man is there, anything can happen.
If they're smart, they'll do what Sony did with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And just make it an MCU movie.
Yeah.
Just make it together.
I saw this week that he signed on for 6 Spider-Man films. You see that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the actual, I forget the actor's
Tom Holland?
name. Yeah, signed on for 6 of Spider-Man films.
Did you see Michael Keaton as the Vulture?
I didn't see it. I've heard. I just haven't seen pictures.
Yeah, they've got
really
his costume.
Really?
The Vulture costume.
He's so good. That is, without a doubt, the best Peter Parker ever.
He's pretty good.
Ever.
He's pretty good. Let's see a full movie before we say ever.
Those scenes, man.
But those scenes were great.
Yeah.
What did you think of the villain in Doctor Strange?
It's a Marvel movie.
It's a Marvel movie. Yeah.
That's not important.
If it's not Loki, the villain is not memorable.
Yeah. Was that even? I don't even know that's a character from the comics.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, everything was from the comics, down to the Night Nurse.
Right.
Not from Doctor Strange.
But
from his comic book and origin.
Right.
And I love the astral plane fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the hotel. Oh, are we spoiling, by the way?
I said semi spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. But what impressed me, and I got to thinking about this, about Doctor Strange, and it's Marvel and it's Disney, and there's just something like they did it in Star Wars, they did it in Iron Man 2, the original Iron Man. They did it in Doctor Strange. They did it in Guardians of the Galaxy. They can take the most inanimate object and make it a character in a movie, like BB-8, basically an inanimate object.
Oh yeah,
a fantastic character in that movie. Groot.
Yeah.
In Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
The suits in the Iron Man movies. Like he would interact with the suits like they were real people.
And you mean the cape and Doctor
And then they
Strange.
did the cape in Doctor Strange.
Right.
Like the cape.
I had no idea.
Like his cape was like a likable character
like
in the
feel
movie.
for the cape. If that cape gets destroyed in Doctor Strange 2, you will feel
You're
sadness.
going to feel bad about it. Because we have a relationship with the
And
cape
you shouldn't
now.
feel bad about a cape being destroyed, but you will if it happens.
They were able to do more to make the cape a character in Doctor Strange than NBC was able to do with a TV show called The Cape.
That's very true, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought that was great. The effects with the cape were awesome. The fight sequence, man, it's just a good Marvel movie.
It is, yeah. It's all around
Is
fun
it the
time.
best Marvel movie?
I wouldn't say no, not for me. It's not.
No,
But top 10 for sure.
but it's definitely up there.
Yeah, I mean, just the cast is fantastic. To have this many legitimate actors in a superhero film is fantastic.
Now I want to be that guy for a second.
Uh-oh, bring it down.
Let me put what's the character from The Simpsons? The comic book.
I think comic book guy.
Comic
right?
book guy?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the continuity
Okay.
of Marvel.
Okay. Because I have some small problems with Doctor Strange we can talk about, but continue.
Where does Doctor Strange fit in the continuity of all the Marvel films,
Time-wise?
time-wise?
I see them all as real time.
So Doctor Strange happens after the events of Civil War.
That's how I see it, yeah. I see it as real time.
Okay. In Captain America: Winter Soldier, there's a scene when the stuff on the ships, when they're proving that they can target anybody basically in the world and take them out.
Oh, yeah.
There's a scene where it zeroes in on Doctor Strange's address, and then you see Stephen Strange.
At that time, he's a normal doctor, a neurosurgeon.
So why are they going to take him out?
That's a good point.
So wouldn't Hydra want to take him out after he becomes Doctor Strange?
Yeah, I mean, it's a small
or after he becomes Sorcerer Supreme?
time problem.
So, and we know that this takes place in 2016 because there's a point where he's looking through like some of the awards and stuff that he's won, and there's a plaque that says 2016 on it.
Yeah.
And then there's the phone call that everybody thinks they were referencing Rhodey in Civil War when he got taken out. And
Which
he was
one
in
now?
the Iron Patriot.
Uh-huh.
Like right before his wreck,
Right, yeah.
he's talking to the doctor on the phone.
Yeah.
And the doctor's going over possible patients that he could work on.
Uh-huh.
And one of them said an Air Force pilot who has an injury, dislocated spine from, or spinal injury from, experimental armor.
I never put that
And me
together.
and my wife both thought that was from Civil War.
Yeah.
Some say no, it's the guy from Iron Man 2 because what did I read that they say an Air Force pilot, but Rhodey was actually in the Marines.
Oh, was he?
So it could be from Iron Man 2 when the soldier got injured using the Hammer Tech experimental armor.
I've always thought of these as real time.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the from Winter Soldier was a minor flub. It was a fan service at first. I don't think they even had plans for a Doctor
that's what
Strange
I think
movie
so
yet.
too.
And
And I should just accept that.
yeah, that's what I see it as.
And Hydra wasn't really targeting
No,
Doctor Strange.
it could have been a different Doctor Strange. You never know.
Could have been a different Stephen Strange.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah, with a name like Stephen Strange,
Yeah,
you know you're going to be up to something.
right.
What were some of the problems you had with it?
Not a problem. I understand, and my fiance talked to me more about this and kind of opened my eyes to it. But the female love character kind of could have not been there for that. I know it kind of shows his human side at the very, very end, where the first 3/4 of the movie, she means nothing to him. He throws her away. He belittles her, talks bad to her. And at the end, even though he doesn't stay with her and be a real couple, he kind of proves that he has feelings for her now. But I just think that was the whole love story, and Rachel McAdams as the character in general was kind of not needed. You take her out of the whole equation.
Dr. Christine Palmer.
Yeah, minus her saving his life that one time, and that could have been a random friend of his. You take her out, nothing at all changes.
Well, I think the romantic story is over by the time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing there
Yeah.
other than the fact that, I mean, she obviously broke up with him because he was a big asshole.
Right. Yeah. I mean, when he comes back, when she hasn't seen him in probably months,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a warm embrace. Oh, I miss you, and like a kiss in the rain. It was just like, what are you doing? Or are you
Yeah,
dying?
because I don't think there's anything between them anymore.
Yeah. So
I think that's all been over.
even
We missed
bigger
that
for the
part.
question. Well, what's the point of her even being in there?
Well, because she's still a friend. And she's probably his closest friend, at
Yeah.
least in this movie.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It's just weird to have that romance at first, and she's a semi-big actress to have that role. It seems like there'd be more for her, but I just don't see the
I think there
point.
will be more for her. And I wonder if Rachel McAdams doesn't cross over to the Netflix.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I wonder if Rachel Adams doesn't end up meeting, what's her name? From the Night Nurse.
Night Nurse, yeah.
From the Daredevil and Jessica Jones and
Right.
Luke Cage.
And I know they kind of say they won't do it, but they have to somehow mix the Netflix universe and the cinematic universe. They have to. I know they're in the same realm and they talk about each other. I want to see just on screen once.
Yeah, we do need some. We need,
Really?
in the next one, like when Spider-Man Homecoming comes out, well, he's in New York.
Yeah. Put
So
some Daredevil in there.
Why
Like
can't
that.
you just have Daredevil show up on the TV, like
Yeah.
Daredevil, the Devil of Hell's Kitchen
Yeah.
strikes again.
A quick team up. Give me a 90-second team up of Daredevil and Spider-Man. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, think about it.
I want to see Kingpin. I think we'll end up. I think that's where you're going to get your crossover.
You think so?
I think they
Because
will
he could
do
work in film. He could.
a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie with Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin crossing over to be Kingpin in a Spider-Man movie.
That would work.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
We should see that. Did you think Dormammu was a better Galactus than Galactus was
Pretty much, yeah.
in the DC
Yeah.
movies
A little-
or Green Lantern?
A little too much Disney comedy to it, but I accepted it.
Yeah. Do you think the jokes landed through that movie? That was really the only thing. The jokes to the movie were funny.
Yeah.
But there were some big time belly laughs in the theater when I saw it, and I kept telling my wife, I'm like, it was funny, but it's not that funny.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, oh, we have to laugh really loud because it's a Marvel movie and we're Marvel shills.
Right.
I mean, the movie, there were some humorous moments in it,
Yeah.
but I didn't. I thought sometimes the jokes didn't stick.
Right. Some didn't. There's one that made me laugh out loud. I forgot what it was.
Was it the Beyonce joke
Yeah, maybe that was it. It was one of those.
when Wong is listening to
Yeah.
Single Ladies
Yeah.
after he didn't even acknowledge Beyonce?
Yeah, it was one of those. It was
Yeah.
pretty good though. But there were some funny moments, like you said, pretty comedic. But that final battle, it's kind of struggled.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, I don't think you mean against Dormammu.
Yeah, I guess, and that was kind of the
Like the
point
time loop?
to show the loop, and it was eternal.
I
And
thought that was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
just that character in general seemed like a Disney villain, though.
Yeah, a
He
little
did,
bit.
Yeah,
a
he
little
seemed
bit.
like a big Ursula. That's all.
I loved all the multiverse stuff, the other dimensions.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that's so vast you can't ask questions because your brain would just go into a deep hole. Like Dormammu, where is he from? What does he do? Why is he doing this? Where does he go back to? You don't need to
But
ask
we could
yourself
see
those
him
questions.
again,
Yeah.
especially as we get
Yeah.
into Infinity Wars, and now because Thanos is lurking around.
Yeah.
So
But certain movies like a Batman v Superman, for instance, is so grounded in reality. When there's such a vast questions to be asked like that, you get mad because those questions aren't answered. But something like this with different dimensions and realms and almost demons in a way, demons the size of planets and galaxies, you can't ask those questions. They're so beyond you.
and we are going to have those questions come up in Justice League.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
If Darkseid is the ultimate villain, then DC's going to have to get ungrounded pretty fast.
Yeah.
Which is something that we've talked again and again on this show about. And I know I sound like a broken record every time I say it, but that is one of the ways that Marvel has created this universe in a better fashion than DC did, is because they slowly eased you into the unbelievable stuff. Iron Man was very grounded. You had Iron Man, and then Thor wasn't next. Hulk. The Hulk was after Iron Man.
Right.
And then was Thor after that?
I think Captain America was Captain America first? No, Captain America was last.
Yeah, because it was Captain
Yeah.
America, the first Avenger.
Yeah. So it was Thor, then Captain America.
Or was it Iron Man 2? And then
Yeah, because Iron Man 3 was after the Avengers movie.
I don't remember. I just know that you had 2-3 movies that were pretty grounded, and then Thor kind of eased you into this whole other dimensional stuff.
Right.
And now here we are with Doctor Strange and, Guardians of the Galaxy. And I never, ever, ever, ever thought I would go see a movie where Dormammu was the bad guy.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
It's crazy. Just ridiculous.
I've got it's very long, so I won't read it off, but a very long timeline of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Goes on for way too long, though. I'm trying to see where your Doctor Strange fits in, though. This is on the Marvel Cinematic Universe Wikipedia.com, like their actual Wikia.
Yeah. Their wiki?
Their wiki. Man, that's deep. I won't read it off because that's way too deep, but it's a lot of stuff.
Maybe we'll do it next week.
Yeah, we will. Let's look into that.
Well, coming up on Tuesday's show, we're going to have some guests on the show.
Right.
Craig, Abby, and Jake, who host the Yes Have Some podcast. You can find them now on iTunes. Just search Yes Have Some. They're going to join us Tuesday and spend the entire show with us.
Yeah, the whole time.
And we're going to talk about movies, and we're going to talk some Doctor Strange.
About methods on how you treat your Sims.
That does come up.
Maybe. That's what I'm just going to...
it's possible we've already recorded it.
It's possible.
It's possible. It's possible we talk about Sims, Seinfeld, and Kit from Knight Rider in the same show.
That is possible. That could have happened.
So yeah, that's coming up on Tuesday's show. The guys from Yes Have Some.
Yeah.
But we have Gamers Corner.
We do. Sponsored by the Grand Old Game Room Expo, of
This
course.
is this weekend.
Yes, it is.
More details about that
Yes.
next.
Hey guys, it's Nick, and, well, time to talk movies. No, not that. How about something else? Much better. So, we had this idea for a small spin-off. A second podcast, if you will, where we would watch an entire movie series so we can compare them one to one.
My name is Bond.
Bond. Bond. Bond.
Bond.
Bond.
James Bond.
So every time Q goes,
I missed you. What a pity.
Yes, the legendary 007 wit. Or at least half of it.
I'm your new quartermaster.
we will watch it and compare them. From the highs
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
to the lows.
I thought Christmas only comes once a year.
Tune in every other week as we compare every Bond girl, every plot, and every henchman on Mission Briefings, starting January 2016. Find Mission Briefing on iTunes or as part of the Myopia Defend Your Childhood feed.
Grab your joystick.
This game is an atrocity.
It's time for Gamers Corner.
I think it'll make a person become insane.
Gamers Corner brought to you by Grand Old Game Room Expo. It is this weekend at the Marriott in Cool Springs. So if you're in and around Nashville and you're looking for something to do this weekend, the weekend this show comes out, go to grandoldexpo.com, get all the deets. That means details.
Oh, is that what that means?
On the Grand Old Game Room Expo. We're going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Doing our show twice live.
Maybe.
I'm trying to decide if I want to say live or twice first. So it was twice live.
Let's just go with twice.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't go well, we'll just run an old show.
I like that.
You guys want to know what we'll do? This is it.
Just projections of us up there.
Yeah.
Slideshows.
Crawl out through the fallout, baby.
And then in 2013.
And then this happened. And then we lost weight.
Yeah.
And then Adam shaved his beard.
Yeah. And head. And everything. Well.
Hey, so when you do the new releases, I don't have a can to pop this
I noticed this. You don't have anything.
I'm off the Coke Zero.
Are you off of it?
Mm-hmm.
I should be. I've tried. That's the one thing I can't kick.
Yeah. I can't quit you, Coke Zero.
I can't, man.
Especially after I left a whole, 12-pack at your house.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I think I drank 6 of them while I was there. So,
why are you quitting that? You just think, I mean, they are bad for you, but what's not?
That's true. There's much worse things I do that I should quit.
Right,
but yeah, it just, I'm just, I do this. I'll go off of them for a while and then come back.
That's good.
I'll be back.
Are you drinking decaf coffee right now?
Uh-huh.
Do you have any caffeine in the morning?
I drink tea.
But caffeinated tea?
Caffeinated tea.
Hot tea?
No, it's cold.
Okay.
But decaf coffee.
Good old Southern iced tea?
If you're not aware, I have somewhere in the neighborhood usually of 3 drinks around me
You
the
do?
entire time
I
we
just
do
noticed
this.
that.
Yeah.
I
I'll
still
go back
see-
and forth.
You still have your Wookiee mug, your Wookiee koozie
Mm-hmm.
over there and everything. Wow.
I don't think I can use that with this.
Oh, probably not. Is that an Alcatraz, like Splatoon? What is that over there?
It's an Alcatraz. It's like a prison cup.
I've never seen this.
Yeah, it's from Alcatraz.
Is it? Oh, it's like in the gift shop?
Yeah.
Wait, do they have an Alcatraz gift shop?
Yes, because it's a museum now.
Is it really?
I've never been.
I did not know that.
Yeah, my wife went. My wife did some time in Alcatraz.
A little bit, like an afternoon.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
She went to Alcatraz, and all I got was this cup.
We have some gaming new releases, you know.
Oh, do you need to save these for the expo since we'll be doing our show?
No.
Okay.
I just may repeat them.
So we're going to be doing Gaming Year 1995 and Gaming Year 1985 at the expo.
Right.
Okay.
Big years in gaming, I would say.
Why is there even a need for me to show up?
What do you
can just
mean?
do that.
No, I can't.
Okay.
We've heard the solo 8-bit Atoms back in the day. They weren't pretty.
They were good.
But they weren't pretty.
I enjoyed them.
Okay, so we have games like Cartoon Network Battle Crashers this week. Side-scrolling brawlers where you can play as all of your favorite Cartoon Network characters on all consoles, including the 3DS.
Like SpongeBob?
Well, Cartoon Network.
Oh, that's Nickelodeon.
Yeah. like the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh, okay.
Like
Adventure Time.
Like Powerpuff Girls.
Is it Adventure Time? Powerpuff was a cartoon.
Yeah.
Adventure Time is Cartoon Network?
Yeah, that
or
is.
Nickelodeon?
That's Cartoon Network.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm questioning myself now.
I don't know.
It is, yeah. So Cartoon Network Battle Crashers available on all consoles. Handball 2017. I know you're a fan. This is your week for the new
can to open.
The new you're kind of jonesing, aren't you? Trying to find something to snap open, right? You should just have a Slim Jim at all times by you.
Just keep going.
Okay, so Handball 2017. I think last year, I guess it was, we talked about Handball 2016. Apparently, this franchise is so famous and so popular, they have a yearly installment way now. So Handball 2017 on the PC could be yours if you so desire.
Oh, wait a minute. I think there's. Oh, wait a minute.
It's like a whole.
Just do it.
Wow.
Wait. Ooh.
That's more like can of tuna. Ooh.
That's like an old PBR can.
One of the old peelbacks.
Yeah.
Also, Marvel Pinball: The Epic Collection Volume 1 finally came out as a full combination of games. You've seen the virtual reality pinballs they have on the video game machines these days.
We'll see them this weekend.
That's true. But now they have it on your console. And the whole, I think so many, the list is so long to even talk about, but so many different Marvel pinball tables available in the Epic Collection Volume 1 on all consoles. Kind of cool. Who doesn't love pinball on your console?
Boy, that sounds like a licensing money grab.
Yes, it does. Also on the PC this week, we have, it stands for VR, but it doesn't mean virtual reality. Although it is a virtual reality game, this stands for very real, and that is Very Real Chess. Came out this week on the PC. It's here. VR, virtual reality chess.
You know
it's
what I
finally
miss?
upon you.
Battle chess.
Ooh, yeah.
I loved Battle chess back in the day.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
It was cool.
But yeah, Very Real Chess can be yours on the PC.
For only $19.99.
Hopefully not that much. Last but definitely not least, I would say my biggest game this week is Dishonored 2. Did you ever play Dishonored 1?
No.
I did love that game so much. A lot of people.
I heard I wasn't smart enough.
So you can play, this is one of the violent game, you can play the whole game and not kill one person. You can beat the whole game and play 100% stealth, or you can go in and play 100% non-stealth. It's up to you how you want to play it.
So under the current administration, or the forthcoming administration.
Right.
Is that more of a dishonored administration?
I think so.
You think Trump would be a Dishonored fan?
I think so, yeah. I think he would be.
Or would he be a VR pinball fan?
VR pinball?
Or VR chess?
VR, Very Real Chess, yeah.
Yeah.
I think more of a Dishonored guy.
I think so too.
Literally.
It fits.
So yes, Dishonored 2, the main hero Corvo Atana comes back, or you can play as Emily, his small female friend.
Oh.
Well, she may be older now, I'm not sure. But Dishonored 2 on all consoles and PC, check it out.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like it's like a female protagonist.
Yeah.
In Dishonored
it is,
2.
yeah.
It's a big
fantastic. Cool mask he wears, cool powers. It's very Bioshock. So a lot of people on the original Bioshock team came back and worked on this game.
So maybe Hillary would be a Dishonored fan.
It's true. You never know. You just
got
never
some
know.
time now.
Yeah, you just never know. Wow.
What?
That's all I have for gaming new releases.
I got to catch up on my video games from the last 30 years.
All my favorite shows. It is time for some gaming news, you know.
Oh, gaming
Ooh. I think you're going to enjoy the gaming news edition this week. It's
Please, I need some good news this
week. It's chock
week.
full of fun things for you. I think you'll enjoy it greatly. This is, I think most of when I wrote these down, I'm like, wow, these are very positive for JP.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Let's start with some not so positive, though.
No.
Not that it's bad, but you won't find this just so entertaining you can't control yourself.
Will we still have video games in Trump's America?
I hope so. I sure hope so. And they're going to be huge.
It's going to be Pong.
Right now, major retailers are already releasing their Black Friday video game deals, and you should check them out.
No, if you get the Walmart app, you can already get the Black Friday deals, but you can only do it using the Walmart app.
Yeah, so Best Buy.
That's your consumer news of the week.
Check those out. Black Friday deals, GameStop. It's amazing the stuff I'm seeing. So 3 years ago, I got a terribly broken 500 gigabyte Xbox One with one controller and nothing else for $500.
I remember that.
And now you can buy a terabyte Xbox One with the brand new Call of Duty game for $250.
It pays to wait.
That does pay to wait, and I'm sure it won't be broken on launch day.
But you do need to buy all these electronics this year because this time next year, with all the tariffs,
right,
you'll be back to the $500, $1,000 mark.
Because most of our electronics do come from China.
Mm-hmm.
They do. For the next 4 years, I call it China.
China.
It's better than Bernie, I guess. You're right. Good news for you, though. Nintendo is confirming the Wii U production is ending soon.
Oh, that is fantastic news.
Isn't that crazy? Already? That's so soon.
No, I don't feel like I missed out on anything.
I believe less than 4 years, maybe 4 years to the day.
Do you know?
That's insane, man.
That is the first Nintendo system I never bought.
Wow, that's true. You even had a Wii.
I had a Wii. Well, I still have a Wii.
Well, don't say yet. With the production ending soon, I would imagine the shelves shall be cleared for the new Nintendo NX/Switch coming soon. So if you see a Wii U bundle for $99, you may want to pick that up.
Because they're not making them anymore.
It's true.
It's an antique.
You would buy a bundle for $99, right? It had Mario Kart 8. That's
you know what, I might.
Yeah, well worth $100. And I don't doubt that would happen this holiday season. Trying to clear the shelves and get ready for the Switch coming out.
Yeah.
I could see even like a $125 bundle with some games and some controllers. I could see that. Mm-hmm. It just may happen. You loved for about 3 hours, and I loved for about 3 months the game of Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We love for 30 plus or 40 plus years the game of Monopoly.
Ooh, this is getting interesting.
Why not combine the two with a game called Buy Somewhere? It's a mobile game coming soon out of Australia with the same technology and AR capabilities as Pokemon Go, but you're using the rules and concept of Monopoly around the world.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, every single place, even your house, can be owned by someone else. Of course, you want to own it, but someone else could own your house.
Shouldn't you start out as the owner?
No, because you can't. I mean, it's a mobile game. You can't prove you own your home. You must control it.
I can show you the mortgage and prove that I own my home.
I can see my bank account.
I don't own it yet.
Right. But
15
soon,
years from now, it'll all be mine.
You know what just happened, right? Make it 25.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's exciting to talk about. This one's kind of a bad. We're going to bring you down a notch. Not such good news for you, but for the 4th month in a row, the Xbox One outsold the PS4. It's kind of odd. I don't know what's happening here.
Well, it's everybody bought the PS4.
That's very possible.
So
they're going back and like, we'll try it out. We'll try the Xbox One out.
It's a cheapie.
That is very possible.
There are some Microsoft exclusives I wanted to play.
That is very possible. Final 2 news pieces I think both you'll enjoy. This is the actual week of the release of the NES Classic Edition. For only $60, this
I'm
could be yours.
excited about this.
As of right now, we're recording this. There are social media is blowing up. People are waiting in line already for the Friday release of this little console.
I saw that.
A mini console with USB and HDMI capabilities. So at this point now, you can play all these games on your high-def TV, and they look fantastic. Mini games built into it, and they're all the best games on the NES. This is a great, great deal.
Is Excitebike going to be on here?
I think it is.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, all of the ones you actually want to play.
Super Mario Brothers 2?
Of course.
Super Mario Brothers?
Of course.
Super Mario Brothers 3?
Of course.
Super Mario Brothers 4?
I don't think that's a thing.
No.
But all the good games you want are on the NES Classic Edition. And for the final story this week, I know you're not a fan, but this may make you want to buy this game. Now, in a certain way, if you play Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, if you play the zombies version in that, and you do very, very strict rules and guidelines and things you have to do in the game, you can unlock
Lucille.
David Hasselhoff.
Yes!
In Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Zombies. Check out the screenshots. They're hilarious.
You can play as David Hasselhoff?
I don't know if he's playable, but he shows up and gives you some advice and leaves.
Do you get to talk to your watch?
Or your cheeseburger?
That's pretty funny.
That's all I have for the gaming news. Check out Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Hasselhoff edition.
I'm blinded.
Uh-huh.
You're a better judge of this than I am.
What's that?
In 2016, is Kit still a cool car?
No.
Okay.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, I'm just asking.
There's nothing wrong with it.
What about the General Lee? Is that still a cool car?
I'm very good to separate my blindness. Like, to me, the DeLorean is awesome. To the world, not so much.
So that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Is the DeLorean still a cool
No,
car?
like, to me, yes. To the world, to the majority of people, no. If you showed a 19-year-old male, is that cool? He would laugh and say no.
Like, I was out, in my neighborhood the other day walking around, and there was a DeLorean, not a time machine DeLorean.
Right, yeah.
Just a regular DeLorean parked in somebody's driveway, and like I had to stop and look at it.
Yeah, it's cool. You don't see those very often.
What if I had this?
What if I parked that in a mall parking lot and couldn't leave? What if?
For only $60,000, I could turn this into a time machine.
Think about it. Plutonium, flux capacitors, you can do it.
So the DeLorean's still cool.
No, it's not. To us it is, but to the mass majority, I would say no. I don't think so.
Kit, no way.
No, wait, there's not even that.
Not even close.
No.
Really?
No. That's like saying the was it the Firebird from
Smokey and the Bandit?
Yeah. The old T-top?
I think I would drive that.
Maybe it was Sally Field in the passenger seat.
Not 1970 Sally Field.
Yeah, not 70 Sally Field, which she is now. What other cool? Like the old Batmobile. Once again, not cool. The 60, like it's cool to us, but if you saw a guy driving down the street and you just saw it, but you had to gamble what age the person driving it is, you would say over 50. Can we agree on that?
Yes, you would.
You will not see a fresh 18-year-old male come out of his high school driving the 60s Batmobile. Yeah, that won't happen.
Atomic batteries to power.
No, a guy that just spent his pension to restore it to its original state, sure. We can see that.
So the DeLorean is definitely in that same category.
Right. It's sad but true. I think the closest to being modernly cool, you know?
Yeah. When we have Have Some podcast on Tuesday,
right.
I'm going to bring this up to them.
Do it. What do you think their answer will be?
They're all going to say, the DeLorean is still cool. and they're younger than you are.
That's true, yeah.
They're going to say...
Can we ask about the Ecto-1 then? Because I know their answer would be yes on that. But I have to disagree. I mean, to us it is. I don't deny that. But to the vast majority of the world...
Ecto-1, though? Like the new Ecto-1? Like the Hearst Ecto-1 or the ambulance?
The ambulance. The Ecto-1.
The Ecto-1.
Yeah, the Ecto-1.
What about the Starsky and Hutch car?
No. Can we even say the General Lee? We can't say that anymore.
I said the General Lee.
You said General Lee?
Yeah. Is the General Lee still cool?
I don't think it's allowed to be cool anymore.
it's back, baby.
Oh, yeah. It's true. It is back. That's back.
One more thing about Trump. And I know I've talked a lot about it today.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he brings Hail to the Chief back.
You think so?
Uh-huh. Because, Obama wouldn't use it.
All right. It's true, yeah.
Like, that was one of the things when he became president. He did not want Hail to the Chief played when he would, come on stage. Or
I didn't know that.
Come out.
I never thought about that, but it's true.
Yeah. But I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure Trump was using the theme from Apollo 13 the other night.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was John Williams' Apollo 13 music.
Really? Wow.
When he came out.
Why every president doesn't use the opener to 2001: A Space Odyssey, a.k.a. Elvis Presley's intro, or a.k.a. Ric Flair's intro. I have no idea. If I were president, that's the first thing that would happen.
Boom, boom, boom. The timpani drums.
Badass.
It is.
Like, no matter who it is, if you hate that person on stage, that plays and you respect them.
If I was president, I want Sirius by the Alan Parsons Project to play when I come out.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Or Mr. Roboto.
Or Susudio by Phil Collins.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Susudio.
Mm-hmm. That's a fun. You can't hate someone while listening to that
Who
song.
are we kidding? I want D-Generation X play.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Imagine that. Like you're getting up for the State of the Union.
Are you ready?
You want Congress to pop?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. It's disheartening no matter which side you were on this election this year. It just kind of had a weird feel to it. We won't talk much more about it, but the one great thing about it, the one shining light, is all the fantastic wrestling memes that have came out of it.
Dude, the one that was on Twitter last week.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Like
When
it
Stone
showed
Cold
Trump. Like look, it was when they thought there was a gun in the crowd.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you see Trump kind of like looking out. He's got his hands above his brow and he's looking out.
Yeah.
And then you hear the glass shatter and here comes Stone Cold. And then Secret Service rushes him by.
I was hoping that would end with the actual stunner, but it didn't show it.
No, because he never stunned him
I thought he did. I couldn't remember that hair flopping on the mat.
at WrestleMania 23.
I sworn he got stunned. It was a terrible stunner. Terrible.
Donald Trump got stunned.
I'm 98% positive.
How come this did not come up in a Hillary Clinton? If Hillary
Yeah.
had used footage
I
of
know.
Donald Trump being stunned,
Would that work for her or against her though? That's pretty cool.
I think it would work for her, right?
You think? Like
I don't think he got stunned.
I'm almost positive. I've seen that hair fall on the ground.
Are you thinking of the like when they did they started that with the Rosie versus Donald Trump thing?
I don't think so.
And it was a fake Rosie O'Donnell and a fake Donald Trump,
Maybe so. I don't.
like fake Razor and fake Diesel.
I don't know.
It was fake Donald.
I'm gonna check it out. We'll see if I can find it.
Did you see Linda McMahon was at his
Oh, really?
his party the other night?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Sorry, I'm really sorry we talk so much politics.
Once again, it's entertainment at this point. It's entertainment.
So if you had to use a wrestling theme,
Yeah.
you're president of the United States,
Right.
And they come to you and they're like, President Adam,
Yeah.
he did get stunned?
Yeah.
Oh, can you turn that up? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, the replays. Oh man, terrible quality. But if you have a chance, watch Donald Trump getting stunned.
This is WrestleMania 23.
Yeah, I clearly remember that.
Oh, my.
How fantastic is that?
That
Stuff
awesome.
people don't talk about that.
That's so
Never
sad.
in the history of the universe has the United States president been stunned by Stone Cold Steve Austin, but we just saw it happen.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that right?
All right. Let me pitch this question to you.
Okay.
They come to you.
Yeah.
President-elect Adam,
Yes.
you get to choose one WWE theme
Yeah.
to use your entire 4 years.
Uh-huh.
If you win re-election, you get to pick a new one.
Right.
What's your first one?
I have to go with Kurt Angle's intro. It's so patriotic, so American. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't chant "You suck" a few months in.
Oh, yeah.
It's possible. For a heel turn, it's possible. Depending on what state you go to, it could be a "You suck" chant.
I think I would use Edge.
Yeah, you think so?
Understand. Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
You know what would be perfect
What's that?
for Trump?
Yeah.
Is Randy Orton's theme.
That's true.
I hear voices in my head.
That's
They
true.
talk to me. They understand. They talk.
I think against the person I was running up against, we'd have a haircut match, and whoever loses shaves the head. Winner's the president of the United States. It's a win-win if you win.
This is better than the Electoral College.
Yeah, see?
Okay, before we go, quickly, I finally saw Star Trek Beyond.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I was a fan.
Pretty odd, yeah?
I thought it was pretty good.
Much different from the first two, though?
Different in the sense that this is a seasoned crew that we see in Star Trek Beyond. As a matter of fact, that's how it opens. You see Kirk kind of, offering a peace offering to a race of aliens, and he's just kind of going through the motions because it's clear that he's been doing this a long time. I think they're on year 3 of their 5-year mission.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, and he even makes a captain's log that's basically, I'm kind of tired of this.
Really?
I'm not going to do it anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then that kind of becomes the backbone of the story. But the way they defeat the bad guy, and you haven't seen it, have you?
No, I've not. Don't tell me. I'm going to see it soon. I'm going to see it soon.
The way they finally beat the bad guy.
No.
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
But I was a huge fan of it. Like at first I was like, oh, that's cheesy. But then as it's happening, you're like, oh, I love this.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was really good. So yeah, I recommend Star Trek Beyond.
I want to see it.
My wife fell asleep watching it. But,
Really? I mean, it's not, Star Trek isn't for everyone.
She only likes a Star Trek movie. Apparently, if Benedict Cumberbatch is in it.
I go to sleep almost nightly to Star Trek, but for good reasons.
The
It's
old-
calming, like that hum in the background of the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
It's a calming sound. The Star Trek series is maybe not the action-packed new movies, but the old shows. For some reason, they're calming to me.
I think you should watch Star Trek Beyond.
I'm going to. I plan to.
I think you should see it. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Coming up Tuesday on the Tuesday show, the entire cast of Yes Have Some podcast, Craig Goldberg, Abigail Gardner, and Jacob Walsh. Those 3 guys. And before Tuesday's show, Go check out their show.
Please do.
If you're a fan of Ghostbusters or just pop culture in general.
I've been a fan for half a year now.
I've been listening a while too.
Horror movies, Jurassic Park, toy collecting, whatever you want.
They run the gambit, and we're going to chat with them the entire episode coming up on Tuesday. Yes, Have Some will join us. Check us out online at adamandjp.com.
And of course on Facebook.com/AdamandJP and Instagram and Twitter, but no longer Vine at Adam and JP.
I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
This is the Adam and JP Show.
Crawl out through the fallout.
Through the reign of strontium 90. Think about your hero when you're at ground zero and crawl out through the fallout back to me.
This has been a production of the Adam and JP family of on-demand talk radio.
AdamandJP.com.
Right now.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network, your station for all things geek, classic, current, and beyond. Be part of the crew at ESONetwork.com.